Hey everybody, it's Zero Gear Plus, and I know this is usually where a video goes for the day, but I just wanted to talk to you guys just a little bit of an update because Final Fantasy IV is done. Episode 24 was the finale. I have no more recorded for Final Fantasy IV, and that got me thinking. I know that I said that I wanted to stream the Lunar Dungeon, and I know that would be a lot of fun. But it's like, I know I'm going to spend a lot of time getting lost in there. Actually, it's funny. This is just really going to be a ramble video. So it's like, if you really want to watch this, it's here, but you're probably not going to want to sit and watch however fucking long this video is going to take. Cause I'm just doing this. There's no script. It's just completely off my brain. So, I wanted to stream the Lunar Challenge Dungeon for Final Fantasy IV, and I do think it'll be a lot of fun. It's just a matter of, I don't know if I want to stream it. I mean, like, I said I wanted to stream it because that would be a lot of fun, but at the same time, it's like, if I set up for, like, the whole stream way of doing it, it's like, it'll be just like a real run because it's basically blind. It's funny. I was looking to get something. I was grinding before episode 24. I spent about a good hour, on the moon. I went into the Lunar Challenge Dungeon because there were, monsters that you can fight there that are like, if they're not the security eyes, they're like the security eyes from the Tower of Babel. And, if you have Edge in your party, you can steal sirens from them. And I wanted to steal sirens from them so that I could go back to the Cave of Eblan and try to farm steel golems for giant gloves, or giant's gloves, or whatever it's called, because they're fucking awesome. They give plus 10 to your stamina and plus 15 to your strength. They're probably the greatest rare drop I've never gotten. I've never gotten giant's gloves before, and I really wanted a pair. And I mean, like, I got the 2 power sashes from fighting behemoths just left and right, and I'm like, well, how hard could it really be? But I went there because once you beat Sealed Cave, that's not true. Once you beat Giant of Babel, you run out of chances. You're done. You can't get any more sirens because you can just stand there. Because you can just stand there and farm them and steal them over and over with Edge. Because steel doesn't count as an attack option, so it's not going to summon anything. So you can just stand there and just do that for a good couple minutes until you have like 50 of them. I think that would be enough if that's something you wanted to do. But so I read on GameFAQs that for the PSP version and the Lunar Challenge Dungeon, there are monsters that are like that. And since I blew all my chances to get sirens, I'm like, well, shit. Okay, I'll run in really quick and just get some siren. I'm going to go to whatever floor and get some sirens. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to get my giant's glove. So I do this for like an hour. And I get to, because I'd already beaten the game once. Who the fuck is texting me? Shut up, work. So that's another thing I wanted to talk about in this video, but that I will get to that. I will get to that. But so I go through the Lunar Subterranean Dungeon, and I'm going through all the floors, and I pass up Yang's challenge, and I pass up, I think, the Twins challenge or whatever, Edward's challenge, and I still haven't found this fucking floor. So then I get to one of the in-betweens, and I'm like, wait a minute, whose challenge is this? Stop it! But, I'm like, whose challenge is this? Because it's playing Baron music. I'm like, this could be one of 3 people. I'm like, this could be Cecil, it could be Rosa, although I think Rosa's would be like the Baron Town music theme, or it could be Kane's. So assuming it was Kane's, I just walked up and I couldn't inspect the door and I accidentally walked through the door. It was Cecil's. I'm like, shit, I don't want to do this because it's like, I want to do this on the stream or whatever I want to do. And I go all the way through the end, and I get the Lightbringer sword for Cecil, which is fucking awesome. It's even better than the Ragnarok is. And when you attack, it has a random chance of casting Holy. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. And so I fight the boss, and he killed me. And I hadn't saved in like an hour and a half, so all my endeavors were gone. And I'm like, shit. So now I have to do all that again. And I'm like, it's not even worth it. I don't even need the Giant's gloves. Because we had spent so much time grinding. Everybody was practically level 60. What are you going to need giant gloves for? That's just going to make the fight that much easier. And it's just like, yeah, whatever. So that didn't end up happening. But so I spent 5 minutes talking about Final Fantasy, talking about recording. But I think what I'm going to do for the will you stop it? My speaker's acting up again. But I think what I'm going to do for the Lunar Challenge Dungeon is I'm just going to tackle it like I have been the rest of the series. I'm just going to do it in episodic format because, like I was trying to say, if I get set up to do it the whole stream way, it's essentially just going to turn out that way because I am just going to archive that stuff to my channel. And it's just like, I'd rather you guys be able to sit down and make time for a 30-minute episode of that because I already know that not a lot of people are going to show up for a stream of that game. So I don't want to get all set up with, and then, like have this whole third of my screen be an empty chat. I'm not setting you guys up with that. It's like, I want you guys to be able to see as much of the game as possible and not a blank chat screen. But, I don't know. I haven't thought too much about it. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing because it's like, I know nobody's going to come to watch the stream and it's like, it's just going to go on YouTube anyway. So why not just record it the way I was doing it? But I don't know yet. But, so that leads me to talking about, that's everything with Final Fantasy. And now for the actual, like, me part of the update. So today is May 9th, 2017. I was hired, technically yesterday was my hire date, but today was my first day of work for the company UPS. You might have heard of them. And they helped me to realize something because I started working for UPS. I started putting out like applications to different places weeks ago, dare I say months ago, and nobody was hiring. And, I get on Monster one day and I'm like, oh, UPS. Kelsey had a UPS job. She liked it. I might as well try it. And, she made like $15 an hour, although she was a contractor. She was working through a contractor, I mean. So I go through all the things and it's like, yeah, you're going to be making $11 an hour. I'm like, shit. Well, whatever. I mean, it's a preloading position at like 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. It can't really be that bad. And oh my God, I hate it. And like, I have never walked out on a job before. I've never walked into a place and go, oh, this isn't for me, and just left 15 minutes into my shift. I have never done that. That's not who I am as a person. That's not in my character. I have also never worked my first shift and gone, no, and not going back. But that's what I'm doing. I'm not gonna say screw UPS, it's a terrible company. But here's the thing. Stop it, speaker. I don't want to give away trade secrets because that's considered espionage and I can get in trouble with that. But essentially, they expect you to, when you want to work for UPS, it's because they hype up becoming a driver. And the driver positions are awesome. I've seen the wage, the benefits, the perks. They're fantastic. But you have to wait, and I don't know if I'm legally allowed to say how long, but you have to wait a long time. You have to be employed with the company for a couple of years, more than a couple of years, but a good couple years before you can become a driver. And I didn't get hired into this job with the thought of becoming a driver. And so they expect you to go through all literally bullshit. It was a 5-hour shift. I was there for 5.5 hours, which isn't a problem. I don't mind spending extra time at work. It's just more money for me. But here's the thing. I'm making $1 less than what I'm already doing at Lowe's, doing literally 10 times more work just today. And I wasn't prepared for it. That made it even worse. I threw 7 trucks. I don't know how big each one was, but they weren't like the standard, the long semi-trailers. They were considerably shorter. If a regular truck had like 13 3-foot panels for however long that is, it's like almost 40 feet or whatever. This one would have had like 8, maybe 9. And it's not such a big deal if you like the work. It's just like, I already do that. And, you know, I get paid $1 more to do that. I just don't get as many hours, but it's like, I can fix that. You know, I go into work and I'm just like, I need more hours. And I guess the biggest thing is because what corporations are doing nowadays. Now, as far as I know, UPS has always been like this, but I'm getting really sick and tired of places only hiring, you know, into 5-hour positions. Now, I know why companies do that. I'm not stupid. But it's like, you need people to have full-time jobs because these people need that paycheck. They can't afford to spend the gas. Like, just going to Statesville to work for UPS isn't worth the gas I'm using to get there. And it's just like, speaker, I don't know if you guys can hear that, which is why I keep adjusting it. But it's like, I can't afford to spend the gas it takes to get to Statesville just to break my back 10 times worse than if I was still working for Lowe's, which is literally half the distance. But it's like, I don't mind taking in extra hours from Lowe's. It's just like, I don't want to work 6 days a week to get my 40 hours. I know this sounds like it's just a really, really big session of complaining, but it's very critical because, you know, you need a weekend. I understand when you're young, you're going to be working a lot of shitty, low-paying jobs and not getting any time to yourself, but a weekend is important. You need that time to rest and relax. And each day, you know, Saturday, Sunday, each one has its own purpose. Resting and relaxing are not the same thing, but they're both very important. I actually had a whole thing about this that I'll make for another video, but because I'm not going to have, you know, the time to make that and this. It's 2:40 as we speak, and I'm going to upload this as soon as, you know, I'm done with it, basically. But it's just like, I know why companies are only hiring into 5-hour positions. But you need people to have those full-time jobs because that's what they're looking for. They can only afford to get into one job and work that one job. And I don't have a problem working 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. I don't have a problem doing that. But it's like, everybody at my store works 5-hour shifts and they can come in extra hours if they want. But, you know, it's all staggered and you're not doing the same thing every time. And it's very frustrating. And like I said, I know why corporate does it. If you hire more people and give them less hours, you know, the store is still being upkept and all that kind of stuff. And there's enough people to watch the store. And since nobody's making full-time hours, you don't have to pay them full-time benefits. I'm not stupid. I might be 21, I might be young, but I'm not stupid. If there's one thing I credit myself on being, it's that I'm not stupid, especially when it comes to this type of stuff. Again, I don't agree with it. I think it's a very stupid call, but I know why corporate does it. It's to save money. And it's just like, I'm not even ragging on Lowe's. Like, everywhere's doing this. Like I said, as far as I know, UPS does it too. Because they've always had 5-hour shifts as long as I've known. There's a lot of corporate changes going on everywhere, so I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I could put it into anywhere, any basic retailer, and they'd probably start doing the same thing. So since my probationary period with Lowe's is almost over anyway, and I'll become a full-time associate, a permanent member, you know, I might as well just stay there for now until I can find something better, because it's just like, I'm going to be eligible for healthcare soon, and it's like, nowhere else is going to get you healthcare. Not immediately, at least, unless, you know, it's like a federal job or something, and even then, I don't know if it's immediate, but I don't know. That's just conjecture at that point, because I don't know. I haven't done it. But, so this whole second half of the video, this whole 10-minute rant that I've been going on thus far, stop it. This fucking speaker. This whole rant that I've been going on thus far is basically just to say one thing. Don't get complacent about your job. I was starting to get frustrated because it's like, I'm making $12 an hour and all this stuff we have to do. And then I tried a job that paid $1 less, and I was doing way more stuff and way more strenuous work. I almost passed out at work twice. I have never worked myself to the point of exhaustion. And it's like, I almost worked to the point of throwing up, too. That's never happened at work before, because it's just the speed and it's just the expediency that they want you to do things. And, you know, you're throwing heavy-ass boxes off of a truck. And it's just like, no, I physically cannot do it. My body will kill itself if I try to do this. And it's just like, it's tiring. It's very tiring. But, so yeah, just don't get complacent in your job. If you can do your job, if you can stomach your job, it's worth keeping. Now, if you absolutely hate your job, it's like nobody's making you work your job, okay? I'm not incredibly fond of my job, but I don't hate it. I think some of the things we do are pretty stupid and we shouldn't have to do them, but it's like I'll do them 10 times over if it means I'm not working for, something else that pays less and is worse. But just seriously, don't get complacent in your job. This whole working for UPS thing was a very humbling experience for me. And I know better now. But that's basically what's going on with me. I just wanted to give you guys the lowdown on what's been going on for the past month or so. So I do think that I'm just going to keep doing the episodic format for Final Fantasy IV episodes. And I don't think that the Lunar Challenge Dungeon is going to be long. But I don't know. I mean, it's as long as I make it, and I've never really done it before. So that'll be interesting. And so it just as goes my life, just don't, again, I can't stop saying it. Don't get complacent in your job, or otherwise you're going to find yourself up Screwed Creek without a paddle, that whole kind of deal. And it's just not a very fun place to be. And that's it. I really didn't have a way to end this conversation. I just kind of felt like, not ranting, I just needed to vent a little bit because my back hurts something fierce. My shoulders hurt, and I have to be at work in like an hour. So, I'm not a very happy camper today. Tomorrow is going to be just like, I don't work tomorrow. So I'm just going to be in bed the whole day, essentially. I don't know. I might make that video about, that video I was talking about resting and relaxing and how they're two different things, but they're both equally important. Because I actually had a very solid standpoint with that in my brain when I was thinking about it. I'll write it down and maybe we'll have a more structured video tomorrow. But that's it. That's it for this video. I don't want this to ramble on too long. It's long enough as it is. But if you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button to become more awesome than you already are. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, my Twitch account for if I ever stream again. I don't know at this point. I mean, I want to finish Pokemon at some point. I just haven't picked that up. I put it down and haven't had a chance to pick it back up. So even if I don't stream the Lunar Challenge Dungeon, there's still stuff for me to stream. And I don't know what I'm going to record next as of this video. I really don't know yet. I mean, I look at my gaming shelf every day for inspiration, and it's just like nothing's coming to me. Because it's like I want to play something newer. I want to be able... I also want to play something different, get a whole different demographic of people into this channel. Because I want people, I've been told that people really like my stuff, and I just kind of want everybody to be able to see it. Who doesn't when you're a YouTuber? I'm not gonna lie. You want as large of a fan base as possible, and that doesn't even mean subscribers. I just want dedicated watchers. I wouldn't care if I had 30 subs as long as all 30 people were watching, and then they bring in more people. So even if they're not, those people that they bring in aren't subscribing, it's like I could have 40 views per video, even though I only had 30 subs. That's not a big deal to me. The numbers aren't what's important. It's, being able to branch out and have a fan base, which is you guys, the whole, a 10-ish of you that'll watch this most likely. But, that's it. Like I said, I already did my outro. I didn't even mean to ramble there. That just kind of happened. But you know me, that's been happening since time began. And so this is Yeager Plus signing off, and I will see you guys tomorrow with something. I don't know yet. I really don't know, but there will be something tomorrow.